Hello everyone and welcome back to more iRacing, where today we were here with the F3 Fix Series once again. This week out we're back at Interlagos. Of course, the Brazilian Grand Prix real life GP this weekend as well, so it only made sense that iRacing took these cars down to Sao Paulo. Of course, if you missed out on the video we did a couple of days ago where we jumped into the iRacing Super Speedway in the trucks, would highly recommend going back and checking out. If you're new around here, make sure you get yourself subscribed as well for more sim racing related content. But 18 laps, it's effectively a 25% Formula 1 race. Of course, we're number 4 car in this lobby, so theoretically we should be quite strong, but F3 and F4 have not been favourable to me this year. Let's wait and see if we can try and get a good clean qualifying lap in. It's not quite how I wanted to start the first lap round here, but I guess it's all going to come down to our second then. I've never locked the rears that aggressively around this track, or in this car for that matter. No! What is up with the rear locking this week? I've had to move the brake bar slightly rearward to stop the fronts locking, but qualifying completely ruined then here from Interlagos. We are going to be starting at the back. No idea what the time could have been, but I mean, I was running pretty consistent mid to high 29s in practice, so can't help but feel like we could have been right towards the very front here, up towards the line anyway. I mean, it's irrelevant, we've got no delta. 35, at least, well, no, it won't even count as time on the board, will it? Because we've got a 2x. We're starting from the back then, in F3. Not the first time, probably not the last. Right, here we are then, 18 laps around the Interlagos circuit. I think we've got a United Colours of Benetton livery just behind us. Red Bull livery car just in front. Plenty of different spicy shapes here today. But yeah, 18 laps starting from P13 as a number 4 car. If we can just make it to the end with all 4 wheels on the wagon, that's all I ever seem to be able to ask for in these Formula races. Sao Paulo, it's nice and wide open up towards turn 1. There are a lot of concrete walls, however. Right, let's get it then. Formula 3, Sao Paulo. It's a pretty decent little combo. 4 red lights.
Green, green, green.
Lights out and away we go. And yeah, I mean, the run towards turn 1 is just about self-preservation as much as anything else there. It's just still struggling with the brakes apparently this week, but just really tip it in very, very calmly through turn 1 and turn 2. So calmly, in fact, trying to give cars room that I'll run myself off the circuit just a little bit, but we've got like a 1x for our troubles. Still got the Red Bull livery car just behind us. In fact, we've got a Prema car as well. Very cool little livery, carrying a lot of speed down the hill, and that's going to be a big crash. I'm going to get involved, but I've got no idea how much damage we've picked up. We've knocked the wheels out of alignment, apparently. Car's still straight. Please don't say it's going to be like Zandvoort a couple of weeks ago. Car feels fine. We'll see what it's like as we head up the hill. We've definitely picked up a little bit of damage. But what can I do just to avoid other cars in F3 there? The Prema and the Red Bull, which is a statement I never thought I'd say, yeah, just collided, but yeah, we could do nothing about it, unfortunately. But yeah, car still feels all but fine, maybe a tiny bit of damage on the rear end, but we've just got to keep our head down and push on, as yeah, we're going to be down to what, like P17 I think by the end of this first lap. I don't even know how many cars were in this lobby, as another car gone round at the final corner, did what I did in qualifying in a pretty similar fashion, but we're now tucked up in the wheel tracks behind Albert as we head up towards the final corner of this opening lap to the inside. Pick and choose your battles quite wisely in Formula 3. Another car into the pit lane. Where are we going to be then at the end of lap 1? I've got no idea. We should get confirmation in just a second. It's just got to be super careful on the brakes down at turn 1. We're P14, so we actually only lost 1 place and all that, despite the fact I got murdered. As we head out the first couple of corners, though, Paulo has disappeared. Now he's back. See if we can try and get a run back down the Esquido de Largo.
Still there.
On the inside, make it nice and obvious, but he's actually going to try and fight it around the outside there. Runs himself a little bit off the road, but will defend the place, as we're going to be able to get back alongside him though up the hill in towards the middle sector. very, very difficult to try and maintain the run around the outside through there, and we'll have to back out of it for now. But yeah, just got to be so careful. Everyone brakes at so many different marks in these Formula 3 cars, and of course, like the F1 games, you cannot afford any contact on iRacing, so you've got to be super, super careful as heading up through the twisty middle section of Interlagos. I do love the fact you can see other parts of the circuit as it winds around itself. This circuit really is a bit of a gem in the world of motorsport. Let's see if we can get a good run out of Jung Sao then. He might just be picking up a bit of a slipstream from Gabriel just in front.
Just done 129.9.
Top cars into the 29s already. Let's see what we can do then on Paulo as topped up in the slipstream. He's going to try and defend it up over the start-finish line. We're not far away actually from that fastest lap.
Still there.
Just meet towards the middle there, of course. Whoa, a little bit of contact. 0x through turn 1 as he really wanted to try and squeeze me out. We'll tuck back into the wheel tracks. Try and do the old up and under. Get back alongside him off the corner. This is a brilliant little battle early on in this race. No idea who he's got on his side pod, who that's meant to be. This time around, we'll send it into the next turn. And we will now inherit P12 then of this race. So a good little battle there with Paulo. Similar iRacing for us. I think we actually had a battle with him in free practice, and that was quite good fun then as well. So let's just try and pull away. Gabriel next up the road, and still, of course, the question today is damage limitation. Can we try and get back some iRating? It hasn't taken us long before we're all over the back of Gabriel. Has locked the rears there ever so slightly, but we're able to keep this thing pointing in the right direction. It seems like everyone actually struggling a bit with brake pressure around this track. It's just, of course, because of turn 1 and turn 4 and then the final braking zone of the lap. You kind of got to move the brake bar. It's actually quite rearward. And then obviously through the middle sector, it really does compromise you quite a lot. So just trying to find that balance of where you're happy with it. So the McLaren livery car there does not get the run at the final corner. This one, you're going to have to try and go the long way around, apparently, as he just moves around a little bit.
Still there.
Towards the start-finish line once again. Are we going to be able to hook it up round the outside? Sao Paulo really does just hand itself to great racing, though, especially because of this sweeping turn 1. He's going to try and really squeeze me. Much later on the brakes there. Just pump the brake. Make sure we get it slowed down through turn 1 there. Flat through the second part of the centre S. That's going to be us up into P11 then. There is a bit of a gap to the cars in front. I think that pretty much does extend right up towards the front of the field. There's a bit of a gap. I think that's pretty much P3 downwards. So let's just focus. Try and close in. Oh.
Yellow flag, keep your wits about you, mate.
Yellow flag's out. 2 cars coming together through turn 1. Wonder if that's going to mean damage for this guy as well, but it is going to promote us inside the top 10 then. Up into positive iRating territory, so every place we gain now is a bonus, but yeah, 28.7 last lap is a lot quicker than a lot of cars at the moment, so we are trying not to let myself get too confident, but I want to say I'm feeling confident. More and more battling there, almost 3 wide. Cars lap down. What on earth's going on at the moment? Looks like this guy's actually a lap down, so fingers crossed he's going to move out of the way for us around this next corner, which he luckily will. Now we've got even closer to this little 2-car battle. Kevin and Mauro just in front of us. Jose a couple of seconds clear as well, so maybe these two can battle as we head back up towards turn 1. It feels like a lot's happened already. We're not even halfway in to this F3 race there. As you can see, tucked up in the wheel tracks is Kevin there as they go right to the left-hand side in towards the braking zone for turn 1. Going to compromise both their runs. We've got another couple of cars out by the looks of it. So there is plenty going on still. Those two almost come together as well, as it really is difficult to get this thing stopped in towards that first corner. But yeah, I think that's us up then into P8 of this race, and I've said it before and I'll say it again about these F3 cars. Really, if you just avoid carnage, you can pick up places. There is again these two very close for comfort through the next couple of turns. Oh, that's an annoying 1x to pick up. I'll try and keep the instant count low as well. 1.9 SR currently is, looks like Kevin's pulled off the move, and Mauro then will be the one I'm trying to apply pressure to. But honestly, yeah, I'm hoping we can be a bit quicker than the pair of them, and maybe try and jump them both in a quick concession, or succession, sorry, even I should say, as we head through the S's. Very different lines through here, trying to extract pace out of the car. Mauro
The gap behind is
almost moved it round as he tries to put the power down on a bit of a compromised line, but down in towards Jung Sao then. So we'll try and get a good run out of the corner there, really kick the back end out as we try to put the power down as early as possible. He, of course, is just sensibly going to take all of the slipstream he possibly can get there as we head out of the final corner. We are going to be side by side though as we head back up towards turn 1, depending on if either of us gets some slipstream. I'm going to try and push him defensive or anything like that. Just going to try and outbrake him,
stay focused.
Which we will do. Sao Paulo turn 1 is honestly, I think, an underrated corner now. About the third time we've done that so far. Stay up into P7 then we go, and P5 is right here as well. P4 a little further up the hill, but yeah, we're setting good times, setting consistent times as well. This one we're not battling cars, but yeah, really, hopefully, starting to drive a bit more once again. Feel like we've lost some of the magic with the F3 cars so far this season, and remember, we might be carrying a little bit of damage during all of this as well. Well, 8.5 laps to go then of this race. Oh, there we go. Jose trying to have a look for a move. We might try and follow him through. Whoa! Another 0x there as a tiny bit of contact. Sorry, that was with Jose. Kevin was the one looking for a move as yeah, felt like we kind of just met in the middle, but now will Jose be able to get a run at the final corner? Back on Kevin. It's Aston Martin versus Mercedes versus Alfa Romeo at the moment, as we're all going to be able to get quite a slipstream heading up towards the start-finish line. Here the Aston Martin, I'm just going to call it an Aston Martin, I know it's not, trying to defend for all his worth. We're going to have a look to the outside of the Merc. Aston Martin just moving all over the show, trying to make something happen there, as can we look it up around the outside of the Mercedes through turn 1. It's going to try and switch back through turn 2. No, he won't. That's going to be us up into P6 then of this race, but now unfortunately we're in a difficult position where we're the car in the middle. So we are going to have to be careful of the car in front and the car behind. It's top 3. They'll absolutely romped away in this one. Often see 2 or 3 cars absolutely pull away in the F3 series, but can't help but wonder if we hadn't been taken out lap 1, where could we have been? Well, at the moment, both myself and Kevin are starting to take a bit more time out of Florin at the road. Kevin doesn't seem particularly slow, but we definitely have got a little bit more pace here as Jose has really just dropped back at the moment. I mean, why on earth are you trying to break the toe half second clear, I don't know, but
128.8.
it's another 28.8 that time through. But yeah, I mean, if we can work together to try and close up, there could still be a battle for P4 by the end of this, but it is going to be a lot of work there. It's still 6 laps to go. They got 4 seconds. Crew chief probably right there. We might need to start thinking about forcing a pass, but we've just got to be sensible. So that is very, very early on the brakes down at turn 4. Right, let's see this time around then if we can try and get a run on Kevin out of the final corner. I feel like he's still going to try and defend this quite aggressively. If we want to get closer to Florin, we might just have to try and make this one happen. Just going to have a look to the inside there. It's not often been the way I've gone to move in towards turn 1, but a little bit of rear locking, but we get the car slowed down. Luckily able to clip the apex through the second part of the centre S as well and try and launch ourselves off the corner. It's Florin at the road, clearly not confident through there, but here comes Kevin back at us as we head down the Esquido de Largo. I think he's just going to sit there. I think he understands we've probably both got a good chance of trying to close up to the next car at the road if we don't battle. So let's try and drag him along with us. 3 seconds. The gap to Florin. Let's just keep pushing on. What? That's not a 1x, surely. Had 2 wheels off the white line there. I mean, it's probably going to look very different on the replay cam, but felt like I was nowhere near outside of track limits there. As gap to Florin now, 2 seconds with 3 laps to go. This, if it's going to happen, it's probably going to be the final lap. We've broken away from Kevin behind ever so slightly as well. We are one of the fastest cars on the circuit at the moment, so we're just going to keep on pushing. So there we go. 25.4 that time, despite the dodgy 1x. Oh, come on, not again. That time round, I'm 99% certain I was nowhere near track limits, and that probably means I'm not going to gain any SR. If we do, it's not going to be a lot. So that's a horrible run out the final corner. That might just cost us 2 laps to go of this race, and we've only taken about half a second out of Florin this time. We have to be within slipstream range next time through, and lines like that are not going to do me any favours. Oh, again, just small mistake. That final corner is going to cost us a couple of tenths there. Gap has come down to 1.4 seconds now, despite that error, but it could have easily been 1.1. One more lap to go. We're going to ride on board then throughout the final lap of this race, but I cannot help but feel just a couple of small mistakes later on might really cost us, unless, of course, Florin still a bit worried in that other Formula 3 car, whether he's just going to try and tone it back a bit, and that might leave him vulnerable. We can believe, we can dream. We're going to need to concentrate, though. Gap 1.1 as we head down the Esquina Largo for the 18th and final time in this F3 race. You can just see there he's not hitting good lines as we head down in towards the bottom of the bowl. Gap under 1 second. Keep applying the pressure. This is not over until it's over as we head up through turn 5 there. Really hope the car will stick tyres now. Pretty dead as you can really attack the curbs through there. So close now, we can see what livery he's got on that car. It's just overstepping the back slightly. And we had to just correct the slide. Rear tyres are definitely going at this stage, but oh, we're going to get close enough to really try and go for anything at the final corner. We're still 8 tenths back unless he messes this up. I don't think we're going to get much of a chance there as through the final proper corner.
You need to push if we're going to hold this position.
We're going to have to do more than push to hold that position. We're going to lose one. Are we going to lose another as well? It is going to be a drag race out of the final corner. I cannot believe that. We went full send, full gamble to try and gain one extra spot, but in the end we have lost one there. It is only going to be P6 at the end of the day. That is a little bit heartbreaking, but can't deny we didn't push right until the checkered flag, and there we go. Let's get off the circuit as quickly as possible. It's P6 in the end, which is still actually a pretty good race result. 43 iRating. Let's go have a look at those final race results. Well, here we go then, having a look at those final race results. You can see, unfortunately, minus 0.11 SR, but 43 iRating certainly tipping that back in the right direction now. When you think, obviously, the fact we got wrecked on lap 1, we could have easily been at P4. Though we might have even been within the battle for the podium. You can see my best lap time was fairly close there. I might have been a bit optimistic. Maybe we would have just had a very lonely race in P4 if it wasn't for that early race chaos. But yeah, big winners though, I guess. Yeah, Kevin as well, 17th to 5th there, avoided the carnage early on. We've got Albert there, 20th to 11th, but I think that was pretty much just avoiding carnage. But yeah, you know what? We'll take it as a final race result. Looks like Mark was able to actually jump Marcelo quite late on in the day, the half second between them when they crossed the finish line. But thank you all so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure you leave a like, get yourself subscribed as well, and we will return very, very soon with more iRacing content.